Hello everyone and welcome to Crypto Night, the crypto investor channel. I'm Boris, so let's dive in. I'm with Colton today. Hello Colton.
Hey Boris, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the Kryptonite channel, everyone. Let's dive right in. Today we'll be talking about Tron. What is Tron, and can you give us a synopsis of this project, Boris?
Yes, Tron is a blockchain. It's an L1 decentralized operating system, and it's trying to decentralize the internet and its infrastructure. It is also a smart contract platform, and it has lots of DApps available. The TRX is the token. You have a few standards, TRC10, TRC20, that are for the coins, and then the TRC721, which is for NFTs. And the cool thing about TRC721, it's fully compatible with ERC721 that also is being used for NFTs. Of course, those TRX token, they're pretty much, you can store them in pretty much any wallet. Tron is one of the most compatible blockchains out there.
Thank you, Boris. Now, what about the history and performance of Tron? Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, it was created by Justin Sun, and it was launched after an ICO of $70 million back in September 2017. And it's really aimed to create a decentralized internet where guys like Google or Facebook, are not needed anymore to access content. It's using a delegated proof of stake, DPoS, on the governance model, and it has 27 top voting super representative and 100 super representative candidates. Tron cannot be mined. It's basically being released constantly. New tokens arrive. You can do, of course, smart contracts similar to Ethereum, but they operate on a bandwidth model. So the cool thing is that transactions on Tron are extremely cheap, extremely cheap. The TRX token, it's basically available on all the centralized crypto exchanges. The high price, all-time high, was at 23 cents back in 2018. During 2021, it went back to about 15, 16 cents. So it didn't make back its all-time high during the bull run of 21, but it was approaching it. The all-time low was 0.0018 cents back in November 2017. So that is really the amazing part. From November 17 to January 2018, in just 3 months, basically, or 2 months, it went from a fraction of a cent to 23 cents. So whoever invested at that time definitely made a lot of money. Currently, they're ranked number 12 on CoinMarketCap. They have a $7.6 billion market cap. Total supply is 90 billion coins. The circulating supply is also 90 billion coins. Downside is there is no end. It's infinite max supply.
Awesome. What about the on-chain data, and how does it compare to Ethereum, Boris?
Well, lately they've rebounded, especially in the past quarter, increasing almost 19% quarter over quarter. But also they're generating a lot more revenue. They're up 65%. And it's a lot also due to some burn of TRX, which we'll go a little bit more in details. And the main reason is that because of some of the things happening with BUSD, for instance, and a few other tokens, USDT suddenly, get back as the most used. I mean, it was already kind of the most used, but even get a bigger market share of every stable coin. And that was definitely benefiting Tron. And also there was a notable uptick in TUSD. So all those things make, Tron more appealing and more used. Also, they are positioning themselves in the AI space by partnering with Ori Chain, and they launched a 100 million AI development fund. So they're getting big into AI. So of course that makes them popular as well. Now, in the SEC that announced several lawsuits lately, they stated that BTT and TRX token were securities, but we saw with Binance yesterday that the SEC is basically calling like all the top project, a security. So what's new? So on other on-chain data, we see that the daily transactions remain stable, even when the market cap increase or lowers, they seem to be pretty stable in the number of daily transactions. On the real volume, over the past month, they're up 159%, which is huge, especially when Ethereum in the meantime is actually down about 4.5%. Also, the number of active addresses is up almost 15% and roughly about the same for Ethereum. Now, on the transaction volume over the past month, they're up 60%, while Ethereum is only up 9%. So that's a big uptick in the transaction volume. So they've had a good rebound in L1s overall. They quarter over quarter, they see an increase of 83% in market cap. Network usage, however, decreased by 2.5%. The big thing here is also that Tron stablecoin market cap increased by 30% quarter over quarter to $43.6 billion. Also, it's interesting to see that only Cardano and Tron experienced significant stablecoin growth in Q1 23. The other thing that's interesting is the full-time dev count equals other L1s combined, Ethereum is, and Hedera see the largest quarter-over-quarter increase. We talked about Hedera the other day. But Tron actually is not doing as well on the full-time dev count. That means developers working on those projects.
Thank you, Boris. What about the latest news and future developments for Tron?
So now the TRX is accessible on Ethereum through the BitTorrent bridge. So that's one thing that was announced about a month ago. And also reminding you that TRX is among the top 15 cryptocurrencies market cap. Now the bridge, it enables easy movement of assets between EVM compatible blockchain and Tron. Another thing is they have now the second highest total value locked among blockchain networks, and that's 5.61 billion locked across 22 protocols. Another thing interesting, Justin Sun on June 1st, just a few days ago, announced that the Tron blockchain had reached a new record high for daily transaction. So on May 31st, they recorded nearly 11 million transactions in a single day. So of course, he mentioned that, and it said it's a big milestone because it reflects on the fact that the network is growing in popularity, but also there's a widespread usage by the community so that the project is very, very much alive. And also they said that the team is aiming at doubling this transaction volume within the next year, bringing it to close to 22 million transactions a day. And like we said, they also launched that $100 million AI development fund, to really push developers into using tools like ChatGPT to create application on the Tron network. What's funny is as soon as they announced the news of TRX being accessible on Ethereum, that led to a surge in the price, almost 10% in 24 hours. Now, the other thing that's important is they're continuing to try to do a deflationary approach to promote long-term value growth. And they have, as of June 2nd, they've removed 17.21 million tokens. So between the tokens that they issue and the tokens that were burned, they have a net insurance rate decrease to 15.4 million tokens, making the TRX deflationary. And therefore, their circulating supply has contracted quite a bit in 2023, because it is now about 90.2 billion tokens in public hands, and that's basically a shrinking of nearly 2% on a year-to-date basis since the beginning of the year.
Awesome. What about staking, Boris? I know it's not the best to stake on a centralized exchange, but do you have any tips, tricks, or anything to share with us on this?
Yeah, you can stake it on, of course, the centralized exchanges. Now, Atomic Wallet had some big problems. There was a major attack the other day. So definitely I wouldn't recommend putting anything there until their team can figure out what the hell is going on. On Trust Wallet, you can stake it for 4.1%. And on most of the centralized exchanges, usually the ones that offer you some crazy numbers like, you know, Whitebit or OKX, I'd be really suspicious of how can they afford to give you 49 or 23%, you know, on this. But that's, you know, you have multiple wallets where Tron is easy to stake.
Awesome. Thank you, Boris. What about the price prediction? Do you really see Tron hitting 14x by 2030?
Well, by next year, it definitely, it's around 7 cents right now, 7-ish. So it could go up to about 16 to 20 cents by next year. Definitely going to higher prices after that. You know, 26 goes to about 35, 28 goes to about 50 cents. And potentially by 2030, roughly between around $1 to $1.40, and somewhere along the lines of about 14x. And the good thing, there's one good thing about Tron and one bad thing. The bad thing is the unlimited supply, even though they're contracting, but there's always the danger of what if they decide to release a whole bunch of tokens. And the other thing is, the good thing is the adoption. Lots of people use it. It's very fast. It's extremely cheap. Like whenever you have a something on Ethereum, a transaction that costs you $15, $20, $25, $30 a transaction, the same one on Tron will cost you, you know, literally a few cents. So it's definitely popular because of the low fees and all the things you can do on Tron. So that's a coin that has some possibilities, and I think it's possible, like anything is possible, could go to zero as well, but it's possible that it reaches above $1 by 2030. That's it for today. Thank you, Colton. Thank you, everyone. We look forward to see you on the next Kryptonite video. I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And if you like the video at the end, click on the thumbs up.